Morning students. Today we are starting new chapter number 16, light. So as you know that light enables us to see objects from which it comes or from which it gets reflected. We cannot see things in the darkness even if our eyes are open. We always require a source of light to make the things visible. It is only when light coming from an object enters our eyes we can able to see an object clearly. So now we are discussing about luminous and non-luminous objects. So what are luminous objects? Luminous objects emit their own light. Okay. So as you can see here, they generate their own light. So these are the luminous objects. For example, fluorescent bulb, candle. These are the examples of luminous objects. And what are non-luminous objects? Objects that do not emit light of their own. For example, table, wall, chair. So these are what? These are the example of non-luminous object. They cannot generate their own light. So as you know that this light gets reflected by the non-luminous objects in all direction. So what is the direction of light? Luminous object generate their own light in all possible direction. As you can see here in this animation. So this light get reflected by the non-luminous objects in all direction. So we receive this reflected light and perceive the object. So you can see the ray of light here. Yes, in this animation you can see the ray of light. So yes, so now in the next animation we will study about the incident ray and reflected ray. So what is ray of light? Ray of light is a straight line path along which light travels. And the light emitted by a luminous object, they travels in all direction, as you can see in this animation. So now, like for example, the rays from the light fall on the surface, as you can see here in this animation, and they get reflected back. Yes. So the rays that fall on the surface, these are known as incident ray. Now again you can see in this animation. Yes. The ray that fall on the surface, or you can say on the mirror, that is known as incident ray. And the ray that get reflected after falling on the mirror, that is known as reflected ray. Yes. Now what we are discussing now? We are discussing about the laws of reflection. So what are laws of reflection? And in the middle you can see the normal ray. So what are laws of reflection? Laws of reflection. In the laws of reflection we will discuss that angle of incidence is always equal to angle of reflection. And the incident ray, normal at the point of incident, and the reflected ray all lie in the same plane. So now to understand the first law, angle of incidence is always equal to angle of reflection. So first of all you should know about what is angle of incidence. So what is angle of incidence? You can see in this animation the angle made by incident ray with normal. And what is the angle of reflection? Angle made by the reflected ray with normal. Okay, and you can denote the angle of incidence with angle I, and angle of reflected ray, or you can say angle of reflection, that is with angle R. So angle of incidence, it is always equal to angle of reflection. Now you can see that we have denoted angle I is equal to angle R. So now we will discuss the next law, that is in the next animation we will discuss the next law, that is the incident ray, the reflected ray and the normal at the point of incidence all lie in the same plane. This is the second law of reflection. Yes, you can see in the next animation. What is the second law? The incident ray, the reflected ray and the normal at the point of incident, reflected ray all lie in the same plane. Yes, again you can see in this animation incident ray, normal ray, reflected ray. You can see that they all lie in the same plane. So what is the second law? The incident ray normal at the point of incident and the reflected ray all lie in the same plane, as you can see in this animation. So what we have discussed now, we have discussed the laws of reflection. So this is the second law. Yes. Now after this, what we have learnt, that incident ray and incident ray normal at the point of incident and the reflected ray all lie in the same plane. So this was regarding laws of reflection.